Hey guys, it's Tim here, and today I'm bringing you my Ant-Man and the Wasp review. The first half of this video is going to be spoiler-free, and then we're going to get into some good spoilers here at the end, but we'll let you know before that happens. And I'm really excited because today I have a very special guest. This is my friend Brett.
Hi.
I've known Brett for a while, and fun fact, back in junior high, Brett had a birthday party, right? And what movie did we go see?
The first Iron Man.
We went and saw the first Iron Man, and that was the very first MCU movie I ever saw was with Brett. So anything that I talk about on the channel that's Marvel related, we can just like thank Brett's birthday party in junior high. So it's fitting that 10 years later, he be on my YouTube channel that we had no idea would exist at the time. No, actually, this was all planned.
This was all planned.
I knew it.
From when we were 12 years old, this was all planned.
I leaned over in the theater during Iron Man 1 and said, "Hey Brett, you're going to be on my YouTube channel."
I was like, what? I'm trying to watch the movie.
Yeah. So getting right into it. So Brett, what did you think about where this movie picks up in relation to the first Ant-Man? I mean, we know how Ant-Man ended. And then this movie also, I think, kind of took Civil War into account as well.
Yeah. So we've seen Scott, as he gets the Ant-Man suit, we see him fight with Captain America, and then now we're seeing him house arrest for fighting with Captain America.
Yeah, and that's like really in the trailers, I feel like, because I was kind of confused, like, you know, how's this movie going to pick up after Civil War? Is it just going to kind of like, I don't know, ignore it?
Yeah.
And it didn't. I was honestly kind of pleased with that. I was pleased that it didn't ignore it. It took Civil War into account, and it kind of picks up with Scott's character with both of those movies kind of adding to his character arc in this one. Okay, and so diving into some characters, what did you think about, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp in this movie? I mean, that's what the movie's called. Did that work for you?
That did. I think that's how they are in the comic books. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, and so adding her on, especially in the first movie, she was better than him at everything.
Yeah.
So adding her on and giving her a suit and giving her powers and having those being cooler than Ant-Man's was pretty nice.
I know, that was a cool like thing in this movie, was that I really feel like they gave her the spotlight a lot, where in the first movie she was kind of like, gosh, why is this guy overshadowing me? Why did my dad pick this guy? In this movie they really gave her moment to just be legit. She kicks a ton of butt. It's awesome.
Yeah, she does a lot. She's pretty cool, yeah.
And then talking about the supporting cast as well. I mean, we have Michael Douglas returning. We also have Michael Pena. And I personally thought that this movie was pretty hilarious. But I'm interested to hear your perspective. We didn't see this movie together, by the way. And I do not know what Brett legitimately thinks. So I'm learning this with you guys. This is interesting.
It was funny. It was really funny. Michael Pena is hilarious in this movie. He was hilarious in the first one. He definitely does that again in this movie. The daughter gets more of a role in this one, and she gets a little bit of funny lines in there too.
Yeah, and you're talking about Ant-Man's daughter.
Yes, Ant-Man's daughter.
Yeah, I thought that was a standout for me, honestly. Like, I felt like in the first Ant-Man, anytime they would cut back to his family, I felt like it kind of took away from the plot, and that was just my opinion. And I felt like in this movie, it really added to it. I don't know. It was just, I'm typically not a very keen on like kid actors in the MCU, like in Iron Man 3, the whole plot where he's like hanging out with the kid in the garage and he's like, "I'll help you fix your suit, Mr. Stark," or whatever. Yeah. I was like, dude, I don't like that. In this movie, it was alright.
They need to bring that kid from that Iron Man back though.
Dude, he's gonna
have like superpowers.
They need to make him the one that defeats Thanos.
There we go.
I would love that.
Spoilers. And her family, the daughter's mom and the stepdad. The stepdad was funny in the first one. He's definitely just as awkward and funny in the second one. So yeah, he was pretty funny.
Okay, I really liked the like cop character who would come in and like he like awkwardly wanted to be friends with Ant-Man, but he's sort of like, but I'm also your parole officer, so I can't. So there's kind of this awkward thing, like the whole movie. And like I was hearing from some people, like there were some reviewers online that really did not like that, and I thought it was hilarious. I legitimately thought it was funny. So,
yeah, that was funny. I didn't expect that character. I mean, when you hear that he's going to be on house arrest, you know there's going to be cop characters in the film. I didn't look at the cast list before that. I was surprised that it was the guy that portrays Jim in The Office.
Asian Jim in The Office.
Jim. It was hilarious.
I know.
That was the first thought that went through my head. I was like, oh, Jim.
I actually Googled that. I Googled that the day after the movie because I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so transitioning from talking about the good guy characters in this movie, kind of what did you think about the villains without going into too many spoilers at this point? It's kind of hard to go into the villains without spoilers, but like let's just do like a flyover.
Yeah. Cool powers.
That's cool. Yeah, that's true.
Cool character design, even though it looks a lot like a Destiny character. I said it.
Wow. I actually never thought about that.
Looks like a hunter from Destiny.
That's true.
And she phases too, and hunters in Destiny phase. So there you go.
Wow.
But yeah, she looks awesome. Her character design's cool. And then she's, I mean,
Yeah.
That's pretty much it right there.
That's kind of what I'll say too. Like you can't really go into spoilers with this. Like later on in the video we'll definitely talk about it, but like yeah, every time she was on screen I was like, your character is so much less cool than your powers. That's just how I felt kind of the whole time.
She gets like one cool monologue.
Yeah,
that was it.
It's just not super well developed, and it just kind of felt like her being there was sort of inconsequential. Mm-hmm. I felt like the heroes would have gotten what they wanted to accomplish anyways without her even being there.
Yeah, if you take the villain out, the result is the same.
Pretty much the exact same. There's maybe a little bit of trouble along the way, but yeah, that's it.
Would have been a little bit quicker, but that's it.
Okay, and so then I don't even know his name. Guys, I need to do better research before I get into these things. But you know what? You're watching a YouTube channel with like less than 300 subscribers, so I don't know what you were expecting. But there's the one villain who's sort of just like the shady, rich, like black market entrepreneur guy.
Yeah.
And honestly, he is so forgettable that as I was saying that to you, I could tell that you were having to search your memory.
What's his name? Sonny
Birch or something.
Birch.
I think
it's Sonny Birch.
I think is that the name of the? I think that might be the name of the actor.
Yeah, but that's the actor's name.
Yeah,
Sonny Birch.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, like, if the main villain was inconsequential, he was like another level of inconsequential.
His motives were just uninteresting too.
Yeah.
I love that actor. That actor's awesome. I mean, I loved him since Justified, but this movie, no.
See, I've never even.
And he's playing pretty much the same character that he plays in Justified and Django, and now Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well,
now you gotta watch Justified.
I know. That's why I have to have Brett on the channel more, is to increase our knowledge of the shows specifically. It's a show, right?
Yeah, it's a show.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But specifically the show Justified, if you guys are into that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, one of my issues with the movie, too, besides just the villain, was that I feel like they kind of sidelined Ant-Man a lot for the sake of the Wasp. And not in the sense that he doesn't get enough screen time, but I really feel like in Ant-Man, you really get to see him become competent. And then in Civil War, he's like fighting the Avengers and like winning against them. Like he's like super powerful. And then in this movie, he's kind of just a bumbling idiot the entire time. And like the Wasp is making all the smart decisions, and like he doesn't really do anything that impressive, in my opinion. But I don't know how you felt about that.
Yeah, he gets sidelined a lot in this movie. His motives are unclear.
Yeah.
And I guess what he's trying to... I mean, he's under house arrest this entire time.
Yeah.
And the consequences don't even feel that bad.
Yeah.
Like, we're not nervous for him at all.
So, and I guess that leads us into our overall thoughts of the movie. I have a feeling that yours are not the most positive, based on what you've said.
No, they're not.
So okay. So if we were to give this an out of 10, what is it? What's the number?
It's probably a 4.
Oh man, that is bad. I mean, I thought you were about to say like, oh, I don't know, it's 6.5 or man, that's bad. That's like going to after school tutorials on your math test, dude. Gosh.
I didn't even like the after credit scene either.
Man. See, and I think this is good that you're on, because I was like a semi-fan of this movie. I liked it. Like, if I were to give it an out of 10, it would be like a 7. It would be like passing. That's where I'm at with it. Like, I liked it. I personally thought that it kept up the streak of good Marvel movies since, like, what is it? There was like Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Civil War, or no, not Civil War, Infinity War, and then now Ant-Man. And I liked it, but I'm glad you're here, because this is going to spice things up.
Yeah, this is like a Thor Dark World movie to me.
And see, that is like I will release my list of Marvel movie rankings someday for my subscribers one day, but like that's like my most hated movie. So that's interesting.
That, and then the first Captain America, the First Avenger. I mean, it's down there with those.
Dude, those are fighting words. If you guys like Captain America, the First Avenger, come to its rescue in the comment section.
Yeah.
I like it. Or maybe you guys hate it too. Maybe I'm the only one. Interesting.
It was just too cheesy.
So moving on now, this is going to be the spoiler part of the video. So if you guys are spoiler squeamish, you can get off now, or you can keep watching and have the entire movie spoiled for you.
The entire movie.
And you know what? Like,
and the after credit scenes. There's 2. We're
Yeah.
gonna spoil those.
Gosh, that was... You didn't even let him get off.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lawrence Fishburne was in this movie, and he was in it for, like, not enough time to justify his character, I felt like, because they introduce him and they give him this really cool backstory. Like, him and, you know, Mr. Pym have, like, some sort of weird beef, and then they just, like, completely abandon that and then just like never talk about it again.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that he is actually helping the ghost villain the whole time. And it's like this big twist. It's like, and then nothing happens with that once again.
Okay. So they introduce like 2 backstory villains. Ghost's father and then Lawrence Fishburne's character. And when they reveal Ghost's father, it seems like they're talking about Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Oh, yeah.
But not at all. That's a completely different person that we just get one scene with. And we have no idea.
Well, because Lawrence Fishburne's literally in the scene where they go try to like get the lab back.
Yeah.
And then he ties them up. And it's like, oh my gosh, he's bad. And then he's in the scene where they go and visit him, I guess like backtrack, like they go and visit him at his university that he works at. And then he's just like nowhere to be seen. And then at the end of the movie, he like runs in and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'll always love you." Like, and so you're like, "Where did you come from?" You know what I mean? And so that for me, I just thought was funny. Like I was literally watching it and I was like, "Dude, like." Because Lawrence Fishburne is a boss. Like
he is.
They should have given him some better material. I mean, he did the best he could. His acting was alright. Like,
his acting was great for what he got.
Okay, so one of my favorite things about Captain America: Civil War was legitimately the Giant Man scene, where Ant-Man turns into Giant Man, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck?" And so, what did you think about that in this movie? Because we got quite a bit of Giant Man.
We did. Okay. What did you think about the line that he says in Civil War, where he gets knocked down at the very end, and he says, "Does anybody have any orange slices?" That just bothers me. Sometimes I think about that and I just get angry.
I like the Giant Man stuff in this movie. I liked whenever he got on the truck and he was scooting it.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Or whenever he became like massive Giant Man, where he's like bigger than the boat.
Yeah.
And then he like has to pass out or whatever. And again, he gets sidelined. Because he nearly drowns.
Yes.
Again, it's like that's all he does in this movie. He like nearly drowns and stuff. And then I thought it was hilarious. This is kind of talking about something completely different, but just sheer comedy. The scene where he like becomes 3 feet tall, and he's like running through the school with a hoodie, and he's like flapping it everywhere. That was like awesome.
That was amazing.
Well,
that was
like,
a really good scene.
Dude, like that was me whenever I was like 3rd grade. Like that was
Nothing ever fit you.
No,
just running.
That was literally me. So whenever that happened, I felt like a strange connection to this movie because I was like, dude, yeah, it's exactly how it was. Okay, so Brett, we've made it to near the end of this review, and we're just gonna go for the mother of all spoilers right now for the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they get Hank Pym's wife, the Wasp, the original Wasp, out of the quantum realm. And that's what they've been trying to do the entire movie, and they get her out, right? But the thing is whenever she gets out, she like aged just like the rest of them. She's alive, she's well, and
Her
she has
clothes are relatively good still.
Yes. And most importantly of all, she has godlike powers and can heal people and can send telepathic messages and also control people's minds from the quantum realm. And this is my biggest issue with the movie. Even though I like the movie, even though I like the movie, my biggest issue with the movie is she gets out of the quantum realm and everyone's just like, "Hey, great to see you." Pretty much. I mean, like it's a little more emotional than that.
It flopped.
But there's no like, wow, like they'll make mention of like, wow, like that's new. Like you have some new abilities, but it's not like, holy crud, you just healed Ghost. Like she heals Ghost of her problem and takes her powers away, basically, and then everyone's just like, wow, that's awesome.
Neat.
And just. She's been gone for like 30 years or something crazy, like 20 years, and yeah, they just kind of move on.
Her entire... the thing with the algorithm, she's like, okay guys, let me just type out the algorithm for you because you got it wrong. Because somehow, while I'm floating through the quantum realm, I have time to
know this.
To make up an algorithm to save myself.
Well, that's also...
What are you writing it down on? Like, what are you testing it out on? She's got nothing.
Know. Well, and there's something... I feel like in the 3rd Ant-Man movie, if we get it, there's got to be something down there. Yeah. There's got to be, like, a civilization or something. Because she came out, like...
Fine.
Yeah, like, fine. Like, hey, what's up? I've been eating well, and apparently I've been working out, and my makeup's fine.
Yeah, Hank almost got eaten while he was down there.
I know.
None of that happens to her.
I know.
She doesn't have any bite marks on her.
Okay, redeeming quality of the whole arc, though, is it was hilarious, the scene where she does take over Ant-Man, and you get to see Paul Rudd just acting like a woman.
He does that so well.
He what, dude, wow. We just threw Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, man.
And the like 0.0001% chance that Paul Rudd opens up YouTube and sees this review.
Yes.
I'm so sorry that we...
Called out.
But it was hilarious because he's like holding Michael Douglas's hand. Mm-hmm. And they like show that. And I thought that was really funny. Like my wife and I lost it in the theater when that happened. And everything, like they do another Michael Pena like flashback story where everyone's moving their mouth and it's Michael Pena's voice. That's gold.
Yeah, that was gold.
That's always like so funny, man.
They took that from Drunk History though, just saying.
Oh, dude. You did not like this movie, man.
I didn't.
You were not throwing this movie a bone at all, man.
The funniest scene in there for me was when he kept trying to call the flying ants and the seagulls kept eating them. Oh my god,
dude, I forgot about that.
Funny. That was one of the. And he gets up on. He finally gets one, and he like looks back at all the seagulls. He's like, "You bunch of murderers!"
Dude, I forgot about that.
That was hilarious.
And so talking. Like, post-credit scene, there's 2. Mm-hmm. You didn't like either of them.
Yeah, I mean, well, we knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
That people were going to turn to dust at some point.
They had to tie it into Infinity War. Mm-hmm. Thanos snapped his fingers. And Ant-Man's
stuck in the quantum realm with his Bluetooth speaker that's sucking in all the energy. I guess Ghost is going to have to come save him. That's the only person who knows he's down there, basically.
Yeah,
that might be alive, or the ant.
And I'm interested to see, what they do I feel like someone, if he doesn't get himself out, someone scientifically minded, if it's not Ghost, is going to have to come help. And I feel like the only person left that's smart enough to do it is either... Is Bruce Banner still alive? Bruce Banner didn't...
Banner's alive,
and Tony
Stark's alive, and so is T'Challa's sister.
Okay, like Shuri.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
but
so,
she hasn't met Ant-Man.
Yeah,
So.
the only person the only people that are still alive, is Black Widow alive?
Black Widow's alive.
Black
I think
Widow.
all the original
Yeah, all the
characters are still
original,
alive.
conveniently. But yeah, I think like Cap, this is how I think it's gonna go down. I think Cap's gonna be like, where's that dude from the airport that got huge? Did he turn to dust too? We need to go find him. Oh, I don't know how we'll find that. And then Tony Stark's gonna be like, I've got this special algorithm that and they're gonna go find him, and that's how they'll get him out.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be that poorly said or written. And so talking about the second post-credit scene, I felt gypped, man. Because
Yeah.
literally they make you wait the whole time.
Yeah.
And they make you feel like, okay, I just waited the whole credits, this is gonna pay off. And isn't it, it's like...
It's the ant that he left
big
on the drums. That's all it is.
It's just him playing the drums.
And
So,
we
like,
don't even see the ant, do we? We just hear him playing the drums.
I feel like we see him, but it's like, it doesn't matter. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You just waited
That's
all
why I
that time.
said maybe the ant was gonna
I know.
come save him.
When I was waiting, I was like, okay, they made us wait the whole movie for this. What's about to happen? And then he's playing the drums. I'm like, all right, someone's about to go down. And then the movie ends.
Yeah. No Avengers 4 spoilers, no Captain Marvel spoilers, or like lead-ins.
There was someone in my theater who literally just, whenever that happened, was like, and so I thought that was
That's
kinda
pretty
funny.
much what you can do. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's
But okay, well, in conclusion, Brett did not like this movie as much.
there was zero character development at all.
Well,
At all.
and for me, even though I think some of Brett's negativity got me going, and I did kind of like punch this movie a little bit harder than I probably wanted to. So like, but I like this movie overall. Like, I think overall I would consider it a good movie. Is it as good as what's been coming out, in my opinion? No. Brett would certainly tell you no.
Definitely no.
But I thought it was funny, and I think it's worth seeing in theaters. I thought the special effects was really, really good, and I'm interested to see Scott appear in Avengers 4. And I think that that's going to be really cool. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I make weekly entertainment, tech, and review videos. You can subscribe right up here. And then in between Brett and I, there's literally a floating thing right here in real life. This is not an edit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.